so much for allowing us to come and present to you this evening. Mayor, councilors, city attorney, city manager, city clerk, we're very grateful to be here this evening. I am Janet Long, and I am chair of the Pinellas Suncoast Transit Authority. This year, it's my second year as chair. And I also hope to give you a couple of informative pieces from Pinellas County government, so I'm kind of wearing two hats. Most importantly, my reason for being here is to let you know that I have been on the PSTA board for the past 5.5 years. And I'm, again, in my second year as chair of the board. My remarks are intended to correct the information that you have in your resolution, which I believe you'll be discussing later on the agenda today, and correct some of the points that were in the Tampa Bay Times article. I want you to know that it is absolutely not correct that PSTA has been deliberately misrepresenting and or using your city as a tool as we moved forward with our application process at the Federal Transit Authority. You all know that getting into the federal pipeline for transportation funding is a very complicated and a very, very lengthy process. It has always been our desire to hopefully include the partners of the City of St. Petersburg, St. Pete Beach, the state of Florida, and the federal government, because we know that with partners, we can do more. We have always been hopeful that over time, all of these partners would come together to help complete this project, which we decided on because it was driven by data. This project began in 2015 when we received a grant through the work of Senator Brandis from the Florida Department of Transportation to begin the PD&E study on the line. And so as the region moves forward to solve our transportation congestion and woes within our county as well as our region, we were hopeful all along the way that the City of St. Pete Beach would evolve as they began to learn more about the project, about the 41-mile proposed project that will connect our entire region. So I want you to know that this is nothing that has been done in secret, and I had asked our CEO, Mr. Miller, who is right here, to compile a summary of all of the meetings that he has had with the staff and with the elected officials on St. Pete Beach since we started our project in 2015, including our being here this evening. It is a total of 29 meetings. On top of that, the PSTA board has had many, many, many conversations, not only about St. Pete Beach, but about the various other areas within our county that is not part of the PSTA ad valorem tax that provides our public transportation for our county. We have been discussing in depth the fact that we are at our cap on our millage rate and that we must, for the good of our citizens as well as for our county and our region, find better ways to fund our transportation our public transportation problems. Some of you know, and I think a few of you might have been there, at the workshop that we had a couple of months ago at the conference center on the campus of St. Petersburg College. That whole workshop involved elected officials, civic-minded folks, and other employees and or directors from the various transit agencies throughout our county to identify what the problems were. Since that time, the PSTA CEO, Brad Miller, Whit Blanton, the Executive Director of Forward Pinellas, our MPO authority in Pinellas County, and our new County Administrator, Barry Burton, have been meeting on an ongoing basis to help to study and really do a deep dive into the current revenue streams that we now have on and how we spend those monies and whether or not there are better, more effective, efficient ways to spend those dollars so that we can provide better public transportation services. So last fall, we recognized that St. Pete Beach was not going to be able to partner with us on this project, the BRT Central Avenue line. And we revised our documents with the federal government. We have also received verification back from the federal government. They have accepted our revised documents. As your commissioner and chair of PSTA, I want you to know that the PSTA board is listening to you, and we are not anticipating asking or receiving any financial dollars from St. Petersburg Beach as we move through the federal process. We've revised our documents at the federal level. We're in conversation with the manufacturers of our buses to see if there are alternatives for smaller vehicles. And we are looking into smaller, more vintage type trolleys that will be more acceptably fitting into the character of St. Pete Beach. We understand how much, we want you to understand how much we value our partnership with St. Pete Beach, from helping to resolve the sewer issues to renourishing your beaches and cleaning up during the red tide. 1,700 tons of debris were picked up on our beaches in Pinellas County during the red tide. There are very valued partnerships that the county and PSTA has, and we ask you to reconsider the proposed resolution that you'll be discussing later on this evening, because we have revised our documents. We are working hard and want to continue collaborating with PSTA to a mutually beneficial solution for our citizens and our visitors within our county and our region. Lastly, the county, PSTA, Forward Pinellas, and all of us are working towards funding short and long-range solutions for our congestion and transportation issues. And I look forward to having that next funding workshop in the very near future, and hope that all of you will be able to attend. I'm going to turn it over to Brad Miller if you have any technical questions that you would like to ask.